Today, I'm here with one of my favorite performers with Broken Arts Entertainment, Kathy Tran. Hello, Kathy.
Hello, hello.
Today, we're going to be doing a Broken Arts editing class, and I just learned that Kathy has actually done an editing class, and her favorite platform to edit in is Reaper. And there's a couple of different places that you can go to for editing purposes. You could actually edit right in Audacity. I choose to use Adobe Premiere Pro for editing purposes. And so any of the demonstrations that we do today are going to actually be in Premiere Pro. Um, so I guess since you're my only person on this in this class, and I appreciate it, Kathy, let me ask you this. We talk all the time, Broken Arts talks all the time about the importance of what the performers need to do from an editing standpoint. I mean, not from an editing, from a performance standpoint, for the audio to be clean. From your words or from your thoughts, what are some of those
hmm
things that we ask the performers to do?
Oh, as a performer, and just me in general, I always try to make sure that I test my audio beforehand because it's super important. I make sure that my mic placement is where I want to be. Everything is set up. My computer's plugged in. My mic's plugged in. Make sure it's working. Make sure I test everything before I Zoom because sometimes my Zoom doesn't really work great with my mic itself. So sometimes I have to use the webcam mic, but then make sure that my mic is connected to like Audacity when I'm recording, that
Mhm.
make sure that my volume is great. And then just pretty much just preparation, not only on the performance side, but also on the technical side. Because it's your equipment. You have to make sure that it's working.
Right? It's your
Yeah,
tool.
exactly.
It's what everybody's going to hear you from, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, and
exactly.
and the cleaner the sound, the better. And I see in you that you're actually in a booth of
Yes.
sorts, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I am.
And and we have people that record in booths, professional booths, makeshift booths,
hmm
closets.
Yeah.
We try to avoid open spaces because we get sound bounce when
Yep.
open spaces happen. We try to, and then we do a lot of things in order to ensure that the volume is set to the right levels. And it's not
Right.
necessarily for the performative aspects, it's so that we
hmm
don't catch sound bleed because
hmm
we do something that's different than most organizations, and we record simultaneously. So everybody records at the same time. We act with each
Right.
other, which makes it a little different than what
hmm
others do. But ironically, it also allows us to be more efficient from an editing standpoint. And I'll walk through why that happens here in just a second. So thank you for answering that question. And we do a lot.
Yeah.
We do ask a lot, but it's all for the quality of the art. Like
Right.
that's what is super important to understand. And our purpose is always to uplift the words of the playwright or writer that has submitted the work. So that's number one. And then number two
hmm
is to be able to give our editors a chance to support the performance, the performative aspects to the best of their abilities and to do that, it's important that we have clean audio.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we're a team, so we have to,
Right.
make the work, easy for everybody.
Exactly. Exactly. Best guess on a 30-minute show, how long from beginning to end, hours wise, or minutes, if you'd like, um, how long do you think it takes to go from receiving the material and uploading it into whatever platform we're editing on to finished product? How many hours?
Ooh, for a 30-minute show, I think, at least 2.5 hours, 3 hours,
Mm, mhm,
maybe
mhm,
even more.
mhm.
That's a big guess, though.
It is a big guess. So, and I don't really have an average number for you, but
Yeah.
here's what I'll tell you is I've had shows that were 30 minutes long that did take the 2 to 3 hours. And I've had shows that were 30 minutes long that took up to 18 hours.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow.
And
Big
and the
range.
ones it is a big range and the 18 hours, the ones that take the longest are the ones because we have to do so much cleanup of the audio.
Right.
And
Yeah.
there are situations and like we've had shows. So I'm going to name some shows while we go through this. But we've had a couple of shows where we've only had like 2 or 3 jump cuts
Mm.
and very minor audio fixes. And one of them was Tiny Man on Ferry by Samara Siskind. And that starred Jamie Swenson and Anthony Zuniga. And it was from last year's, I think it was Good Vibe Summer. But we had 3 total jump cuts. And what that meant is that the dialogue was crisp, everybody was right on top of their lines, everything made sense. So from an editing standpoint, and the thing that takes the longest is the jump cuts.
Mm,
But also coloring the audio, coloring the voices to make sure
mm,
that the voices are, matching each other. Like that's a big piece of it. So in those situations, which are amazing, those are incredible. Another show, if you go and listen to it, was Time Went by Christopher Susi, and there were 740 edits.
oh wow.
740 jump cut edits in that. And it was because I couldn't use any of the in between the dialogue, because there were so many, there were sounds, just little sounds we were losing. So we were losing dialogue as a result.
Mm,
And it could be anything from like knocking a chord, that's going to be picked up by your microphone and stuff. So
yeah.
yeah. So, and I would say, just go back to your first point, ownership of your space
Mm,
and knowledge of what's in your space is very important. Very important. Another thing that we do that's a little different is we do this thing where we say pause. How many times do you think you have said pause
many,
while
many, many
recording?
times. Many
Many,
times.
many,
I
many
think
times.
it's very, very helpful that we kind of push that because sometimes when we're performing, you get so like hyped up and you just need like that second to kind of slow down, especially with the dialogue. Because knowing myself, I talk really fast when I'm nervous and I need to just get that pause. And it's helpful. And it also helps you kind of gives you another chance to like redo the line a different way, which I think it's great.
Mhm.
So it helps, very helpful.
It does, and it is, and it's so important that and we do it consistently. Our performers say
Mhm.
pause so that the editor, when they're listening back, they're like, "Oh, that's going to be I got to pay attention for." I mean, they're paying attention the entire time, but I've got to really pay
Right.
attention right now because something just got cut or something just
Yeah.
got jumped, so I got to fix that. So that's an important, that pause piece is very important to
Mhm.
our entire process. But overall, let me ask you, overall, what do you think our overarching editing philosophy is when it comes to actually editing? Now, obviously, we want to lift up the performance, support the performance, but what do you think we need to think like?
That's a loaded question.
It is loaded. It is loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say on the editing side, just trying to make it as immersive as possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm,
Because I would say you have to imagine yourself, you're part of the story too. You're part of the script, adding sounds and you want to hear something from this side, from this side. If you're closing your eyes, you're in it.
right.
So I think that's a big piece of it.
I agree. That is a huge piece of it. And it fits right in line with what our overall philosophy is, which is we have to think like the director.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think that the director has the overarching vision of the artistry of the show, and sometimes our directors actually give us notes, which is fantastic. I love it. It makes it a
Mm-hmm.
little easier for us to navigate through the ambiance or through the different sound effects that the
Mm-hmm.
director wants to hear. But sometimes they don't, and so we have to think like the director. And we're going to talk a little bit about that when we get into our phases of editing, where that happens. But what's really important is like knowing where the tempo is supposed to be,
Mm-hmm. Right.
understanding the genre of the show.
Yeah.
I have a confession. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So we had a show that was called it was the first show that we released from the Future season 1. And it was called The Internet of Things That Go Bump in the Night. Starred Cole Zuback, Jamie Swenson, and maybe one other person. Maybe one other person. Oh yeah, Jeff Cabral. Jeff Cabral was in it as well. It was directed by Randy Hunt. Now, Mark Andrews was the writer, and Mark had only ever in his entire life written comedy
Mm.
and that was the genre that he wrote. And he's very famous, especially in Mexico. He has a telenovela show that he wrote. It's something about the hotel. And he we never specified what genre the show was. So Randy's interpretation as a director was that it was more like on the horror side genre wise.
Oh.
And so they went with it and they committed to it and it was fantastic. Mark actually loved it. And then he confessed to
Mhm.
me this was supposed to be a comedy, but he loved our interpretation of the
That's
show.
awesome. That's
Right?
funny.
It is
Yeah, that's
pretty funny.
hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
That's hilarious.
So it's also, and I edited the show. So it's important that the editor knows the genre of the
Right,
show.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Cause it makes all this, it really, you get to set the genre or correct the genre,
Hmm. Yeah.
even if it's a little wonky. So, but yeah, so you have to know the genre, you have to know when the tempos rise. Like, and, and you have to listen multiple times. So let's say back to the
Hmm.
30-minute show. The first time you listen to, once you piece it all together, and I'm going to share with you my screen here in a second to show you what we do. But once you listen to it all together without any edits, without any cuts, which is why we try to record the same exact length all the way through. And
Hmm.
then we try to match the dialogue up so you can just listen to it. That initial listen through all the way through is your opportunity to take a ton of notes to understand the beats, the different beats, the punchlines if it's comedy, where the tension markers are, how to build into the tension. And you just make notes while you're listening and try to, understand everything that you want to kind of build in. And not worry about like any of the pauses. Don't worry about the pauses yet. Don't
Mm.
worry about coloring the words yet. Just let it breathe as it is and listen to the whole thing. And so once you've done that and you take all your notes, that's where you get into that director's mentality, that director's philosophy. Yeah. Um, and then make sure you get the right genre, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So our first phase, so once we've done that, once we've listened, the next thing that we do is we go in and we do what are called jump cuts. Okay.
Hmm.
So we listen. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. We voice
Sure.
match.
Voice match.
Is that your cat?
That was my pen.
Oh, your pen. Okay. Don't you have a cat? You have a cat too, right?
Oh, I have a dog
Oh, a dog. A dog. Okay. Yeah, yeah. I
right
mean,
here. Usually,
everybody.
yeah, usually she's in my studio, but she's not here right now.
No, oh, that's funny. That's funny. All right. So I'm going to show you. Let me find the screen here and turn on the sound. All right. So you should see my screen. Do you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Adobe Premiere Pro. So it's great for video. It's also great for audio. I love it in audio because I'm very familiar with it. We'll just say that. I'm very familiar with it. All right, so the first thing that I do is I'll click on a piece of dialogue. So we're going to pretend like I haven't cut this up already. It's already cut up.
Hmm.
But we're going to pretend like I haven't cut this up. And you'll notice when I clicked on it that over here on the left-hand side, there's all these effect controls that I've already put into place. So the first thing I do with all of these, after I've listened, is I made notes of each of the tracks. So the track that we have here is Dana's track. And
Hmm.
Dana Hall usually has very clean audio. And this track usually doesn't need much work, but I do the same work every time to all of them. So you'll notice that they all have similar similar effects. And those effect
Okay.
the primary reason for the effects is to remove any of the distracting kind of noises, get rid of the clicks that might happen. Sometimes it even gets rid of page turns. But here's what's kind
Mm.
of cool because I put all of this in a podcast voice. Recently, Adobe actually gave us a new thing, which is
Oh.
speed up noisy dialogue,
Oh,
which
that's
is pretty cool.
cool.
Right? Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that also allows us to get a little bit faster into a cleaner version of the dialogue. Does it work every time?
Mm.
No. I still go through and I still put in the following effects. So I put
Mm.
in de-esser,
Hmm.
and then I drop down to noise reduction restoration. And I do automatic click remover, de-hummer, de-noise, and I only do de-reverb if there's any kind of sound bounce. And
Mm.
sometimes that eliminates the sound bounce. And then what I'll do is I'll go into like the denoise. So if I go into denoise and I click on edit, I'll get some more options, plugin options. 2, heavy noise reduction or light noise reduction. Now, recently we had a performer, and if you go and listen to Minor Deviations, you won't be able to tell who the performer was that we had some sound issues with. And at the 11th hour, I went in and I did a quick pass on this, and I put in heavy noise reduction with the hope. So I did a cleanup dialogue, and then I did the heavy noise reduction, and it eliminated all the background noise.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, and that helped a ton, and it at least put that performer in the same space, which is important. So we do the DS, denoise, declick, all those things. We do that before we do anything else because we want to make sure that the entire track has it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you don't want to do any jump cuts before that. You want to make sure that we're
Okay.
doing that, afterwards. And then from there, and there's all kinds of presets. So like I showed over here with the dialogue. So if we're under essential sound, we have all kinds of, if I want to put them in a large room, I can put them in a large room, and then I can play with some of the edits on the other side. If I want to make it sound like they're from the radio, here, let me show you that. Let's see. This is a pretty dramatic thing, but. And Dana's amazing.
Are you there? I said, are you there?
So we have that. Let me remove it so you can hear what the real dialogue sounded like.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Oh, wow.
I
That's
said,
nice that it's preset.
are you there?
Now I could also, this is going to sound funny. I could also bring in pitch shifter, and then I can go down and I can change the pitch. So let's make her sound like a deeper voice. So I'm going to drop it to -2 on the semitones. And this has all kinds of different presets too. Like I'm not sure what angry gerbil, the Dark Lord stretch.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and each of them have different things, and I've played around with all of them, which is really cool. So let's see what. So I've made the voice really deep.
You there?
Oh, that didn't.
I said, are you there?
Yeah.
Still beautiful.
Still beautiful. Still Dana. It's definitely Dana. So yeah. And you go through. So what's really great is you do all the big things first, and then you start to think about the jump cuts. So what I do is I make sure you do all that with every single track. So you clean up those tracks first, and then we go into the jump cuts. And you'll see here that I don't actually have. I mean, this is a 21-minute long show. I don't actually have a lot of cuts in here, right? You'll see that there's only a few in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one looks like it's a. So this is Steve Mize.
So, I don't know.
What now?
Been thinking about this all day.
You know what has to be done. This is no different
Jamie
than Panama
Ornstein.
City.
But this is different.
So if we were to take this out to the full length, let me just want to make sure I don't. Yeah, okay, great. So see what the cut that we made was. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So it was just a gap. So that's all we were doing was filling in a gap. So you notice that if I wish I could get closer for you, but yeah, so there was a gap here, and I just removed the gap. So take that back. Yeah. And so that's the same dialogue that was just there a second ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's part of the jump cut process. And since we'll dive into jump cuts, it's really important that you do all the voice match first and you do the cleanup. Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of time going through an individual and never, I would say this, do all the voice match, do all the cleanups, do all that in the very first pass. And then if you have individual things that you need to clean up, clean those up when you're doing the jump cuts. Like, for example, sometimes we have folks that aren't using pop filters. So like I have a pop filter. You can't see it. Oh, no, you can. Pop filter.
Too.
And that pop filter is there to get rid of the plosives, right? So anytime you have a P, B, perhaps other letters that really can pop, that's designed to do that. But we also there are ways that we can shave. So if we look at this, let's go here. This is where Dana yells, and you can.
I will never my child.
All right. So in here, what I could do is if there's any pops in here, we can get all the way down to this level of frame. And we can shave the pops. Now it does still sound a little broken
Mhm.
when you do it, but we're talking about like one tenth of a second.
Yeah.
So if we were to remove this piece, for example, so if I was to take this off, let me just make sure that happened. Yeah. So if I remove that and then we extend this back out.
Will never stop loving my child.
So then what I would do is I'd bring these together. If I had one of those situations, so then I'd bring these
Mhm.
together and we would do an audio transition and see if I can get it to match power. So I put in constant power and let's see if we can get it to sound.
I will never stop loving my child.
So let me, because I've got it this close, let me shrink
Mhm.
it down, shrink down the edit.
I will never stop loving my child.
And now I've got rid of the plosive and you
Oh.
almost get the sound, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So rather than having the artist, the actor re-record that,
Yeah.
what we've done is we've shaved off a portion of where the plosive is.
Okay. So when you say shave, so you kind of like sliced it and then you did like a slight fade, right? Is that how
Right.
you're kind of describing it? Okay.
Yeah, kind of, but not really a fade. I did a constant gain,
Right.
constant power. But yeah,
Constant
yeah,
power.
that's-
Okay. Constant
Yeah.
power.
yeah. And there are other ways to do this. There are other
Right.
ways to, like, you can work on your hold on.
Never stop.
So you can do it in here too, where you can mark off, or you can also, there is another effect that you
Mm,
can do under dynamics processing. So if I was to drop that on here,
yeah.
we could go into the edit, but it would have to be literally on the one item. So like I would
Oh.
have to be like super granular about it, and I can like
Yeah.
get rid of the high points. Yeah. So I don't want to do that though. All right. So that is so that's a little bit about the jump cuts. What I'll do
Mhm.
now though is I do something really fun with our jump cuts. I don't know if anybody else does it, honestly, but I do it. I do it. It's fun. Let's say, for example, we have dialogue here. So let's see. So this was actually
Hey, rookie, nice job.
so there's a scene change in here. So this
Mhm.
is a scene change. And I can obviously build that out as far as I want. Let me find some dialogue that's connected more. Yeah, here we go. All right. So if we go here.
Ah, shit.
He kept saying over and over.
So let's say I want that to overlap more.
Mhm.
And I don't want to mess with the overall length. See how I've got the overall length the exact same here?
Yeah.
So I don't want to mess with the overall length. So what we do is what's called a crosscut. It's part of the jump cut piece. So I'm gonna get as close as I can to the dialogue that I want to move up. And then I'm gonna keep a gap and I'm gonna cut the other two tracks as well. And this is something that I don't know that our editors do. So this is going to be a really cool thing for them to see as well. So then I'm going to click on this fun guy, which is not a mushroom. And I highlighted everything. And you'll notice that it's everything past the moment.
Uh-huh.
And that includes any additional cuts. So it's everything past that marker. And I drag it to here. Now, what is great about doing this offset cut here or cross cut is that I'm not compromising the dialogue that's here. And I've now moved this to be tighter.
The wrong guy. Bad intel. Ah, shit.
He kept saying over.
And so now it's super tight. All right, I'm going to show you again. I'm going to show you again over here. And you would do this chronologically. You would typically not do this in a non-chronological order. But because I want the dialogue here to be overlapped, so I'm going to do this, and you'll notice it highlights everything. And then I slide it here to overlap it.
Joke?
No, Douglas. This isn't. We got the wrong guy.
cool.
Bad intel.
Yeah. So now we've overlapped this.
Some
and
sort of
this.
fucking new guy joke?
No, Douglas. This isn't. We got the wrong guy. Bad intel. Ah, shit.
He kept saying over and over.
So do you see how that changes things with the
Yeah.
jump cuts and being able to do those offset cuts or cross cuts to ensure that you're not compromising the dialogue? And here's what's great about it.
Yeah.
Everything's still the same length,
That's cool. Okay.
right? Yeah. So everything stays the same length because I highlight everything and I move everything. So I don't have to worry about
Weird.
losing, because we'll run into it. Like this one doesn't have a lot of cuts. We'll run
Yeah.
into shows where you don't have to cut a lot, but the editor makes it a little harder on themselves because they're cutting and then they have to reshape and they have to readjust the dialogue. But if they do what I just
Yeah.
did, then you never have to readjust the dialogue and it saves so much time. And jump cuts are the
Oh.
most lengthy things
Yeah.
that you have to do. Yeah, totally. So
That's
then what I
cool.
do is from here is I'll actually export this
Mhm.
and as a WAV file. So we'll export it just for fun. So you export it as a WAV file. It's not really going to take 55 minutes, but so I do it because I want my rough cuts or my jump cuts. I need a jump cuts draft so that then I can put it back in. And I want to make sure that I've done everything I need. I'm just going to cancel this. I want to make sure that I've done everything I need to get for the jump cuts before I move to the next phase. Now that doesn't mean you can't do other cuts later on with the dialogue, but you want to get to the finish line with the first step before you move on to the first and second steps before you move on to the third step. And this is a philosophy thing. All right. So do you listen to a lot of podcasts?
Not usually.
Not usually. Okay. Not usually.
Because I don't have the time. Unfortunately. I'm being honest.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the honesty. Do you listen to our stuff?
Of course.
Of course.
Yes.
All right. That's good. That's good. One of the things that, and I'm going to shout out to Rachel Feeney Williams of Theatrical Shenanigans, because I kind of learned this from her. I'm going to give her the credit, but I had been doing it anyway, just on accident. But I'm going to give her the credit because she confirmed it. So, and sometimes, you know what? Sometimes as artists, we need that confirmation, right?
Mhm.
And one of the things that she told me was that with her shows, she always puts a constant sound in the show somewhere, something. And I had noticed it because I had acted in one of her shows and there was a clock ticking in the background the entire time. And I commented on like, oh, that's a really cool effect.
Mhm.
I love that effect with the clock. And then she's like, well, yeah, there's a constant background of some kind, which then I was like, okay, yeah, I need that in my life. First of all, let's just throw that out there. And then it made sense. Like you want to make the sound like the performers are in the same place, same location,
Right.
whatever it is. And so you first do that by making sure we've got voice match. We go through and we denoise, de all that stuff. And then we do the jump cuts, right? We get all that done, make sure they sound in the same place.
Mhm.
And then we start to layer in. The first thing we layer in is the constant noise, whatever the background noise is. And if they're outside, that's easy, right? A park or something like that. I'm going to share my screen with you again, just because it's fun. And you'll notice I have a new file up. What? All right. But one of the things I wanted to show you, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but one of the extensions that we use at Broken Arts Entertainment is Motion Array. Now, you know that we use Motion Array.
Mhm.
I think I've given you, do you have access to Motion Array?
Yes.
Yeah,
I've been
great.
using it.
Okay, great. All right. So do you see the Motion Array extension on the
Oh.
screen?
Yes, that's cool.
All right, great. So with Motion Array, we get all kinds of wonderful things. And from an ambiance standpoint, we can do sound effects from everything. Now, this is a licensing company, just for anybody that's watching. This is not AI. We're not stealing anything. This is we pay really good money for the licenses for all of the sound effects, for all the music we use, for all the videos we use, and none of it is AI. Just want to throw that out there. All right, so let's say that we want, oh, you know what? You give me someplace that the show is going to take place?
In a park.
All right, great. Give me a little bit more about the park. Where is the park located?
The park is located at Central Park.
Great. All right, so we're going to go Inner City Park. And I failed. How about City Park?
Yeah.
All right, great. So we've got bird singing in a Kiev park. Kiev Park. Let's see. Ambiance City. Let's try this one. Zoom is probably taking a little bit of the bandwidth away here, but
Yeah.
yeah. You hear it? And there you go. And now we have a city park. So what we would do is we'd then download that if we wanted to do it. We'd download it, and it will show up in this handy little folder over here called Motion Array. And sorry, I went one too deep on that. There we go. So you'll notice here that I already have a bunch of different things in here because that's what these are the things I used in 11 days. All right. And because 11 days takes place in multiple locations, it was important that I had those different locations. Like, for example, the flashback scenes with Douglas and Tony, there was one that took place on a pier. So we had the pier constant sound in the background with the seagulls. For the room, we had... Oh, that's the music. For the room, I had a hum of like a radiator going. So you can hear like a radiator in the background. Yeah, so there's a bunch of, so you want to go with the constant sound. That's the first thing you do. And you just layer that in. And sometimes it's the entire show. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's more of a breakup than that. And you have different locations, and then from there, after you decide what the constant sound is, and this goes a little bit faster because the constant sound should be something that's you're able to figure out and go through, and you can manipulate it. And you can slow it down or speed it up. For example, like we can change the speed. So if we wanted to go like make it slower, we'd go 50%. And if we wanted it to go faster, we put it back to 100%. So, just kind of as an idea there anyway. If we wanted to turn it up. So what I do with the ambient sound is I usually turn it down. So you'll notice here that this one's minus 35. So I've turned that one way down. Just so it's lightly in the background, whatever the sound is, just lightly there. But some things we put at full, like we want like the actual sound effects. Those are going to be a little bit louder. And that's the next thing we add in is actual sound effects. So let me do this real quick. I think that's music. Okay, so that's right. Actually, so we started off with the radiator, but then it was a heartbeat. Was my constant sound. 11 days. Yeah.
Dear Santa,
how cool of an effect is that?
what is going on with your reindeer names? Is Vixen
and actually we have footsteps over here, so maybe some music here. We're getting to this. Yeah.
Hi, Jerry.
And you hear how loud that is, how loud those sound effects are, but that immerses you right into it, right? I mean, I've listened to some podcasts where it's really far in the background. And we've done it ourselves where the sound effect is way in the background. But if you put it right there, right here, such a big impact. And so one of the great examples, and I've been playing with that anyway, but Steve Mize, when he edited Ring of Bamboo, that solidified it for me. I was like, that we need it to be loud and we need it to be strong and present and not worry about it being too loud.
Yeah.
So it just makes it more compelling. I hope everybody that just watched that part also drank because that's important.
You better.
Yay! Yeah. So one of the things that are important, first of all, things don't just appear. So footsteps never just appear. They have to enter in. And so if we get a little more granular, you'll see that there is a so what I've done is I've changed the volume of them. But you can also, what's really cool about Adobe is I can just drag this. Yeah, and make a sound like he's gotten closer. Yep. So there's those are just other things that you can do to manipulate, but like footsteps or horses. If you go and listen to Pandora 2.0 from last night, you'll hear horses entering, and they actually enter. If you're listening to them in your headphones, they enter from left to right. And that's a more advanced technique,
cool.
but you can do it through stereo. So for example, if I was to do it here, let me go to effects. So if I go to audio effects, and I want here, I think no. Where are you, stereo? Oh, maybe under stereo imagery. There you go. So under stereo expander, if I go to edit, I can take it. I can either start. I can do center to wide left, center to wide right, focus field, narrow field, wide field. And so what I'll do is I'll split it up and then I'll grow it. So let's say, for example, so let's use this. I think this is just rocking chair. Yeah, or chair. It's just a chair. All right, so we're gonna make a sound from left to right. So we're gonna start with. I'm gonna splice it into 3 spots. And I'm going to grow it to here, and then I'm going to fade it out to here. Oops, no, I want you to fade. Here, there you go. I'll fade you out to there. There we go. All right, and then we're going to get a little closer. Yeah, see, sometimes I even need to take a second and get it the right way. All right, yeah, so if we go here, so I want to start with this being center wide left.
Okay.
All right, this is already set to center, so I don't need to worry about it. Yeah, already set to center. And then this is...
Oh, okay, so you're setting each section. Okay.
Right, so I'm setting each section. There's another way to do it too. You can do it through bypass, and you can map it out that way. So that's another way to do it. This is, I call the poor man's way of doing things. I don't know. All right, so let's see if the rocking chair. Yeah.
Hi, Jerry.
So, and you can do that with footsteps. You can do that with other things too. But yeah, so it makes it, I don't know. In my opinion, it makes it kind of fun to play with things that way.
Yeah.
And just get the full immersion of sound. Yeah. All right.
You put your your obviously sound effects on one track and then the ambient sound on another track.
Yeah, so typically if I lay in the ambiance sound, usually it's in track 2. So I've got this this is the original audio that I created from the jump cuts. So that first track is that. Second track is typically ambiance. My third track is typically the sound effects.
Okay.
Now in this situation, I made the heartbeat on track 3 for whatever reason. And I've got sound effects all mixed in here. I made it harder on myself. Let's just say that. I made it harder on myself. I didn't need to make it that hard on myself. But you'll notice actually one of the things that's important is when you especially if you're doing Adobe, is it all looks like this. And you're like, God, that looks horrible and very confusing. So the first thing you want to do is you want to pull it tight so that it's just, so you just see the track, because you don't want to mess with, accidentally mess with the levels or anything like that. All right. So then our next thing, so we've added our sound effects, and anything that makes noise when touched, moved, or dropped. And here's the other thing too, is there are other sound effects that we encourage the actors to do, like a kiss, right? Like kiss the back of your hand. There's some Foley stuff. We have some breathing. We want you to breathe in the moments in between, all those things. Like if you're running, we might do the footsteps and we'll have you breathe. We'll have you breathing while that's happening. We have a show coming up where I'm pretty sure I had most of the actors hyperventilated from breathing so hard in it. I think it's one of the Halloween shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they were, they're running hard. They're running hard. And then we'll just put in the footsteps, So
Perfect.
if you go back to A Fragile Mind season 2, any of our woods scenes, there was always some running that was happening.
Oh.
Yeah. And just make the actors breathe. And that's, that helps carry the weight of the sound effect. And like I said earlier, the sound effect should always be louder than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Always louder than you think.
Got it.
And then notes. So every time I take copious notes as I'm going along, so I know where to layer in sound effects as well.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm listening and I'm reading the script, I'll write down notes of where to put each of those sound effects. And then every time I layer in something, I go back and listen to make sure it fits. Because you don't want to have a situation where you're like, hopefully it fits. So you just want to confirm it, right? And then a little thing is adding sound effects for tension. Now we put heartbeats in here. I think there's some risers in here as well, but I put risers in almost every show. And the hope is that nobody notices them. Especially if, so a riser is this. Let me pull up my motion array, bring you back, go back to sound effects. This is a riser.
Oh, of course.
Of course. Yeah. And then we have eerie ones.
Yeah.
We have suspense ones.
Ooh, epic.
Epic. Yeah. Yeah. We have long ones. I'm not going to go through all that one. We have impacts. So the hope is that you don't hear the riser. I think I have 13 risers in 11 days.
Oh.
And you don't hear them because it's part of the feeling.
Oh.
But
okay,
those
so you
moments,
put that like lower volumes like in the background. Is what you're saying.
Sometimes I make it obvious.
Okay.
Sometimes I make it really obvious. Yeah. But a lot of times it's lower in the background and it just adds to that, that feeling in your chest,
Yeah.
Like,
anxiety feeling.
Exactly. It adds to the anxiety feeling, which again, anytime anybody emotes it at all for a show, they become connected to the show. So, so I do add, and then there's other noises as well that you can use for tension too. The other thing that you can use for tension is silence. Like that's like just absolute nothing. And we have that a couple times in 11 days. So if you look here, like right here.
Please.
And you'll notice I slowed the heartbeat down. And then it's just the heartbeat.
That's scary.
Right? No music, nothing, just heartbeat.
So would you put like at least some like room tone, not like complete silence?
Yeah, again, I would keep the constant sound, whatever that constant sound is. Keep that.
Okay.
But I would adjust for anytime if there's a moment where you can, and it's an obvious manipulation of whatever that background noise is, like the clock, for example. If you can go from tick, 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 tick to all of a sudden you've got a little echo to it, tick, 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 or you slow it down to tick, tick.
Yeah.
And you can change. That's another way to add another element of suspense or tension to whatever you're working through. And you can make it loud or you can make it soft. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can play with the special effects for tension. a lot of the, and again, it's another thing you mark down in your notes. Like, ooh, that's a good tension spot,
Yeah.
when you're going through it. Keeps you from needing to guess later on. One of the things, all right, so we've been, thank you for being with me for so long. One of the things that sets Broken Arts Entertainment apart from a lot of the audio production houses that are out there is what? Besides our amazing acting, great company, there's something that we do in every show that is different than what you will experience in most audio dramas. What is it?
We like to think outside the box.
Think inside the editing box. Think inside the editing box.
Oh, I don't know. I probably do, I just don't know it right now.
Then we're doing a good job, because I think one of the so we pull it from Motion Array a lot is all the music.
Oh yeah.
All the cinematic style music that we put in. That's okay. All right. So if you go back and you listen to Backseat Driver, starring Shelby Parker and Hannah-Lee DeFreitas, there is music from the beginning of the show to the end. And some of the music is from the radio, and some of the music is for the ambiance. Yeah. And you can hear the difference between the two because they're at the same time. Like there are moments where the music is at the same time. Like there's one piano note or something like that. But one of my favorite things is, I think it's called Reggae Sunrise. Let me find this. Nope, guess not. Yeah, let's just try that. Sunshine Reggae, that's it. See if this sounds familiar to you. Oh, and California Limited, we've used in a bunch of All right, we've used this one too in a lot of shows. This was almost it's almost our entire Good Vibes season 1 theme. Yeah. It's such a cool song. Yeah. But then you could get really granular if you want. You can just do like sad piano. And I don't know if we've used this one, but oh yeah, we've used this one. No, haven't used that one. Oh, A Warm Heart, we've definitely used this one. Right? Or how about Sad Cinematic? So anyway, so those are we have access to thousands upon thousands of royalty-free music through our licensing with Motion Array. And on the back end, I have to do all this fun stuff with Motion Array with all of our shows to ensure that we are getting credit. In some situations, we have to share revenue with an artist, which is fine, if that's what happens. But for the most part, we end up paying the artist through our licensing. Yeah, which is pretty, makes it easier for us because, we just pay one annual fee and all that stuff.
Right.
So it can be, if you think about the most creative ways, and here's the thing, I've also created audio music for us on our piano, from our piano.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's just like one note on a piano. And
what?
Yeah, doing stuff like that, like one note on a piano.
Yeah.
We also have utilized, and you'll see it in Choose the Bear, we utilize, we'll be utilizing a combination of music from Motion Array. We'll have music from Motion Array. We'll have music from Grand Hotel. And there are other royalty-free agencies that we use as well, or at least that Bob is using for Choose the Bear. So, which is fun. From a music standpoint, one of the rules that I have is always use music, but don't overuse it. Like the entire show doesn't need to be music unless it's like a Backseat Driver, something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Where you're in a car and you can listen to the radio.
Yeah.
It's a radio station kind of thing. But use callbacks and the simpler, especially the more dramatic it is, the simpler you go in music, the better,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because it just draws out the emotions. But just like you felt the different emotions in the music that
Yeah.
I just played you, that's our goal, is to
Yeah.
help with those emotional beats.
Yeah. I think it helps set, like, obviously it sets the tone as well, because it's the first thing you
Right.
hear.
Right.
So
It is.
it's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Well, it does set the tone. Let's see. I don't know I don't remember how 11 Days begins. Let's find out. Here we go. Oh, yeah, yeah.
So sad cinematic.
Is that what this one is? Sad cinematic. It gives us who it is. It's Tomas Kalasharki. If I go to bin motion array, it'll tell me. Oh, it's this is Keep a Secret.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the name of it. With Pandora 2.0, the first song you hear, it's called Pandora.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was meant to be. It was meant to
It
be.
was. It was meant to be. So this sets that all up. And now this is what I call the final cut, but not the performative cut. So the performative cut, we get everything. And that's what you see on our YouTube channel, is the performative cut. And so you hear the riser in there. So there's already a built-in riser to the music.
It's intense.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, that's so once we do that piece, once we get the cinematic music in, which is really goes to who we are, that cinematic aspect, that cinematic touch. Once we get that and we send that, we download that piece, then it's time to put the performative cut together. And in the performative cut, that's where we have the branding. And if you look at our future items, you'll find that we have a lot going on in the intro in our performative cut, including artwork by Kathy Tran.
Oh, who's that?
Huh? Who is
Weird.
Kathy Tran? Kathy Tran, who didn't even know this probably before the future, is our senior graphic designer. So I don't know if you've seen that, but I mean, that's the label, that's the title I've given you. Congratulations on that. If you're just finding out, senior graphic designer. So, and what I have here, let me share again my screen. This is what it looks like. So if we go to, thank you. So this is what the intro is. You'll see everything pop up here. There's a lot of manipulative thing. I'm not even going to get into the video editing because that's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we have the music, we have the cinematic music. It's a great intro. I don't know. This music says to me our future.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. This is, so these are graphic templates. The digital glitch is one of the graphic.
For those of you who love audio behind.
So yes, we have all these graphic templates that we have access to, again, through Motion Array as well. You'll notice that I may have used pitch shifter.
For those of
on
you
my
who
voice.
love audio behind the scenes content and
I'll show you. It's only one deeper. Oh, it's only 50% of one deeper. That's it. That's all good. And you notice I turned down the music here, but there's a constant gain between those and those. So
deeper engagement, we've created a way to join the Broken Arts family at another level. Our premium YouTube membership.
And then here we have.
This is Pandora 2.0.
There is no pitch shifter.
Starring Meredith Nudo, Chocolate and Chill,
His voice
Adam
is just
Ferguson,
amazing.
Mittens and
Doesn't need
Jimmy,
enhancement.
Shelby Parker, Rotted.
And then here we have senior graphic designer Kathy Tran.
Oh, yay! Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Looks great.
And that is the performative version of, and that's what we put out to the public. And you'll see there's still more cuts, but essentially there are 3 downloads that we do. We do it from the rough cuts, we do it from the final cut, and then we do the performative cut.
Got it.
yeah, so that is basically what we do.
Nice.
That's how our editing works. And there's a billion things. I mean, I could literally spend 2-3 hours going over the granular details of what we do, but this is more of a quick version of what we do. So essentially, overall, if you focus on the 7 steps or phases of editing and do them in order, and typically, just so we're all clear, our editors really only do the first 6 steps. I do the 7th step for all of our shows.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no problem. But voice match, that's number 1. Making sure everybody sounds, and that's the one that takes a long time if everybody doesn't have clean audio. So when you don't have clean audio, we have to try to figure out and troubleshoot our way around non-clean audio. That makes it tough. And sometimes we ask people to re-record. We don't usually do it with the anthologies. We probably should, but we don't usually do it with the anthologies. But with the series, we have done that a lot. Couple of examples with A Fragile Mind season 2, we had 2 different performers have to re-record 100% of their dialogue.
Oh no!
And it took us 4.5 hours with one of the performers, and it took us a little over 2.5 hours with the other performer.
Oh no!
And it was a simple thing with one of the performers. With one of the performers, it was literally they had a Blue Yeti, and they had it facing away from them.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Frogs.
But what you had said at the very beginning is so important. Know your space, listen to your sound, understand what what you're supposed to sound like. Make sure that you do sound that way. You know, when you are prepared, when you come in prepared and you're ready to go, and that makes it so much easier on the editing process and for the performances, especially to make people sound like they're in the same space. Like that's so important. So important. So voice match, jump cuts, it's tedious work, but it's necessary. And it sets the genre. Like you get the tone of the genre from those jump cuts. Comedies are quick, fast, punchline break, fast, punchline break. You know, that's how comedies typically work. But dramas, not that way. Sometimes it's, angry is fast, sad is slow. There's gaps. If we have performers, which we encourage all of our performers to do this, that are making those emotive sounds, then we're not going to cut anything. Like when our performers are making emotive sounds, it actually makes it almost impossible for us to cut, because then we have to figure out a cut with the emotive sound to do that. And so when we have emotive sounds, it keeps it engaging and, dare I say, compelling. Which is a big, that's a big part of what we do. That's different, again, is those extra sounds. If you listen to Otto, Derek Kingsley makes the sound of going up in a spaceship at incredible speeds. That sound is there. And I'm like, all right, we're going to use it. And I created this entire scene out of it. Like, it was awesome. And that's, those are, and when our performers are doing awesome things, like we don't, as editors, we don't ever want to cut those things. Like we want to make sure we enhance that. So the jump cuts, the constant sound, that's an important element too. Make sure it fits though. Like you don't want to have like a clock sound and you're supposed to be at a park, unless you need a, countdown or something. The sound effects, be loud with those sound effects, be present, make sure that they feel present and that they're not part of the background. You want your sound effects to be felt. Special sound effects, those are like the tension sound effects. Those are things we want to add in, and you hope nobody hears them, or unless it's intentional. Like, I want to create the tension, and I want the audience to know that there is tension right here. Cinematic music, that's part of our brand. And then the rest of it is the branding and the performative cut. Think like a director. That's the real secret. Think like a director. Every cut, every effect, every choice is storytelling. And that's what we do really well here at Broken Arts, is we tell stories. That's our way. Yeah. Kathy, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out for the entire time too. I appreciate that so much. Our next class, we're actually going to do an acting class next. We're going to do that in October. So hopefully we'll have some additional folks to join us for that. And if you are interested in editing and taking the next step in that process, reach out to myself and I can walk you through some stuff. And you said you're using Reaper. So if you're already doing some stuff on Reaper, we can get you started if you're interested.
Yeah, I will have to try to see the equivalent to certain options that you use on Reaper because the Adobe, what is it called? Adobe
Premiere Pro.
I kind of like it. I have to look into that. It's pretty neat. The many options you have for a lot of preset
all the presets
things.
Are amazing.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's nice.
Yeah, it does make it easier from an editing standpoint. Still a lot of work though. Like I said, a 30-minute show can take anywhere from 2.5, 3 hours to 18 hours.
Oof. I don't want that.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work. But it depends on the quality of the voice, like the quality of the product helps determine that. The better quality, the less time it takes for us to do the initial cuts.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Kathy, thanks for joining me.